can't give up. I'm not giving up. Somebody else is giving up, but I'm not. And we're going to talk about the Mauna Loa volcano, Kilauea volcano. Like I said, still in play for the West Coast to go out the door with this volcano situation. If you don't see that, then you're a dumbass. That's all I got to say. I'm not going to be nice about it anymore. You can dislike my video, like it. I don't give a flying fuck. I will tell you one thing. Y'all going to get the real news, and that's the bottom line because I said so. Let's start off with Mauna Loa. Signs are saying it's about to blow. Enjoy. And enjoy my game designs and my tournament. Some people like it, some people don't. Quite frankly, whatever floats your boat. This is America.
Logic before authority.
Whatever.
Hello guys, and this is Daniel Alexander Cannon, and welcome to Logic Before Authority. We are going to take a very close look at the Hawaii current situation. We're going to look at Mauna Loa. There's a lot of shaking and rattling going on up in Mauna Loa, the big volcano. Kilauea's big sister. You can see on the screen right here that you're looking at, there are 4 earthquakes today at the summit of Mauna Loa, ranging from about a magnitude 3 down to about a 2.2, ranging at a depth of about 16 kilometers, 1.2 kilometers, 3.5, 5.3. So from 1.2 up close to the surface down to 16.3 kilometers. So some very good depth. This is not good news for Hawaii, because if Mauna Loa
Sorry guys, this
erupts
wants to play games today. I'm sorry.
or comes into play somehow here, this thing gets more serious and a lot more people are going to lose properties. Just a lot more damage. A lot larger eruption could take place, and more potential for large earthquakes that could cause the Helena slump to have some more problems. We're going to take a close look at the slump today, and we are going to, let's look down here at instruments. Let's go to the tilt meters, and let's turn off our earthquakes. We're going to look at the tilt meters. What a tilt meter is it's a device that they place, and they're able to determine if the ground is sloping, if it is wanting to slide down the hill. Okay? So if we take a look at, let's start in here a little bit closer. If we take a look at, and welcome to the show, guys. We are live today. Hopefully y'all guys can
Nobody's on.
hear me good. Looks like you can. I believe
Hold
everything.
on, let me check this. We'll get back going in a minute. Yeah, right. Okay. Whatever you want to do. I'm focusing on Mauna Volcano right now. It's about to go. Mount St. Helens is about to go. Alaska is about to go. Montana is about to go. Any questions? I don't think so. Do whatever you want to do. Like I said, your hair, not mine. Period. All right, folks. Sorry about that. People wants to argue, and there's no arguing with me right now. This right here is getting ugly, folks. 3 volcanoes are about to erupt on Hawaii. That's not including Mount St. Helens, Alaska, and Montana. Yes, folks, we've got more than about 6, 7 Earth. Well, that's not even including the one on the East Coast that's starting to bubble up. So you add them up, folks. You add them up. There's no way out. No way out, folks. And there's no way to walk away from it either. Because when it happens, I told you so.
Things going good. So, okay. Let me look at the comments just to make sure real quick. And then we will move on. Hey, Michael. What's happening, buddy? Can y'all guys hear me okay?
No, you're not. You're not focusing on nothing but yourself always. Yeah. Okay. Alright. This is getting really good. Alright. I know, I understand that. I really do. But you better focus on getting the hell out of there. That's why I was trying to make money. And you still haven't checked it. So, whatever. Good night. Period. Sorry, but it's the way I feel. Alright.
Can you hear me okay? I want to move on with the show here. Just want to know that y'all guys can hear me. I have 18 people watching, so loud, clear. Excellent, Brian. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Okay, now let's dive into these tilt meters. I'm going to show you what's going on here with the Helena slump and the 2 calderas. Now we're talking Mauna Loa as well. This is the tilt meter, and right off the bat, you can see that the line is tilted. First thing is that is an indication that, yes, there is subsidence, slumping going on. This particular unit is down here. It's down here at close to Leilani Estates. And this is over a period of 30 days. Your days run across here like day 1, day 2, like the 6th of June, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. And over here we have June 4th and now 5th. You see you have a blue line and a green line. The blue line is east and west. The green line is north and south. Actually, I would say if you see blue, it's moving east. If you see green, it's moving south. Okay? So what we got is these spikes. And on each one of these spikes, you'll have some blue and you'll have some green.
I'm focusing on
the green, the amount of green you see is how much it moves to the south of the land.
I'm sorry, folks. I am getting bombarded right now. Yes, I did. I texted you. That's great. But you know, I can't work like that no more. I was working at 13 years old, and now I'm injured. Sorry, I can't work no more like that. Can't pass the physical, so get that through your thick skull. Everybody else has figured it out, but you. Period. But congratulations. That's not $15 an hour. It's not. I made $11 an hour, and I had like 664 in the bank in 2 weeks. So that's not good. But congratulations. We voted for the devil. Period. Alright. Whatever. Alright.
Slope. Tipping. And the blue line, or excuse me, the green line is how much it moved to the south. But we have slumping to the east and to the south out there in Lalania States. Now, if you'll take a look at this scale, we're on the 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 scale. So this is not a lot of slumping. Okay, it is a little bit, but it is moving, but it's not so much. Now let's come over here to this one, which is over dead center of the Lena slump area, where the fault lines are at. And let's take a look at this. Now you can see that we have a lot of blue movement and a lot of green movement. We have blue movement, and well, as you can see, because the line is trending up, that we have a couple of movements going on. See, because this is close to the caldera, the ground is slumping in, so it's slumping away from the shore at the same time almost that it's slumping and sliding towards the shore. So that's why we're getting this really weird looking sine wave looking thing here, is we have ground tipping and going in towards the caldera of Kilauea, and we have ground that is tipping and sliding towards the ocean. This is on a very small scale, really, but it is happening. Now, where it gets more dramatic is if we come in here towards the caldera. Let's take a look at this. As you can see, we have dramatic movements here. This is on a scale of 0, 50, 100 up to 300, and so this is a lot more slumping taking place. Okay, as you can see here, it looks like this device is actually basically went offline about the 25th of June. Let's look at another device here. It's probably about to fall in the hole is the problem. Okay, look at this guy here. We have all kind of movements going on, and what this is because of, the reason why we're getting so much tipping of the ground is because the caldera is caving in on itself. See, that tip meter is already in the caldera. It went bye-bye. This one here, it went offline and went bye-bye as well. These are falling into the caldera, unless they're removing them right before they fall into the caldera. Like this one is gone. This tilt meter has fallen into the caldera.
All right.
Let's look at this one right up here.
Excuse me for a moment, folks. But if you have not heard, not just Kilauea, but Mauna is about to go. And then the third volcano that's over there in Hawaii is about to go. Then we got Mount St. Helens is starting to warm up. And you got Montana, by the way, them are both over there on the west side. Montana's about to blow. And then you got the East Coast is about to blow. Alaska's about to blow. Y'all better wake the fuck up. Y'all better wake the fuck up. Because when this happens, martial law is in effect. Martial law is in effect. Maybe one day you will wake the fuck up. Who knows? Yeah, it was called Burning Your Ass Up North when all the crazy stuff is happening. Sorry, money's not worth it. Congratulations, though. Seriously. I guess your health is more important. Whatever. Leave, I don't give a fuck. Do what the fuck y'all want to do.
Some fairly...
I'm doing this for other people that cares about this.
We only 0, 20, 40, 60 scale here. And you can see each day it gets somewhat of a pulse. You can basically line these pulse lines up with the larger earthquakes that are at the caldera. That is when you get your major jerk movement. So we've got dramatic movement in both directions. Dramatic to the east and dramatic to the south as well. So that's what's happening down there. Let's go up and take a look up here at the tilt meters. See what we've got happening here in the past week. This is just a week scale here. We can see that we do have some tilting. This would probably be swelling of the caldera. We're going to look at the thermal imagery as well here around Mauna Loa and see if it's looking really hot. If it's looking really hot, then it's definitely swelling. Let's look at the cameras and let's look at the definitely looking hot. That's a thermal, and this is 500 degrees at the top of the scale. The area where you see white, the ground is 500 degrees. So this is all very, very hot. This is looking at the caldera. I'll show you what you're looking at. This is a big open caldera here. Let me pull the other camera here. I'll have to zoom in, I guess. Basically, you're looking at that big area right there. But I think I can pull it here. There you go. That's what you're looking at. And you're looking out here at this surface. And this surface is 500 degrees. It's nearly to the point of melting. This is the summit of Mauna Loa. We're up on the very top of the volcano of the Big Girl.
If you just joined us, we've got a bunch of volcanoes about to erupt. 2 in Hawaii, and then you got Mount St. Helens, and then you got, and that's on the west coast of Washington State. Then you got Montana, Yellowstone is about to go. Alaska is about to go, and this East Coast thing under the water is about to go. So y'all better get your shit together. That's all I got to say. Cause yeah, yeah. June 19th, August 28th, I said it was gonna go to hell, and nobody wanted to listen. Guess what? We're between June 19th and August 28th now. Is down. It's gonna get worse. I told you June 19th through June. August 28th, we were gonna have volcanoes, earthquakes, and heat. Like we're going to hell. Pretty much. Period. Alright. Oh, by the way, I just got a message by Google. Y'all better get used to not commenting down below because they're about to cut them off. So, comment all you can because they're about to kick y'all off. Just thought you might want to know that. Well, we got a bunch of volcanoes erupting and Hawaii's about to die, folks. Hawaii's about to die and it's about to go in the ocean and it's about to hit the West Coast. Try to warn y'all. If you're in California still fiddle faddling with your finger up your ass, I suggest you to get the fucking moving like I don't know, Beverly Hillbillies. Move away from there. And that's the bottom line because I said so. Or you can stay there and let the fires burn your house down, and you got to go to a FEMA camp and they kill you there. It's up to you. And if you're out of money, you're fucking fault for going to these damn football games.
So if I want to get a good night's sleep, I have to pay $300 a month. And that's...
Alright.
There you go. That's what you're looking at. And you're looking out here at this surface.
Yeah,
and this surface is 500 degrees. It's
I'm not being nice no more.
nearly
fuck
to the
you,
point
subscribe
of
or
melting.
not.
This is the summit of Mauna Loa. We're up on the very top of the
Fuck you.
volcano of the big girl. Okay? And she's hot. And you don't see any subsidence. This is a live photo. You don't see any subsidence. What we're getting probably is swelling of the caldera. That's why our altimeter is showing what it's showing. Let's look at this one right here. Got it over the month. We can see that we're getting what looks like kind of like breathing activity. It looks like she's swelling up and breathing back down. So she's not gaining or losing any overall ground, but she is breathing. It kind of is happening in a very short period of time. It kind of like breathes in real deep, and then it goes back down. She's alive, but kind of just breathing. Let's see what's happening down the rift here just a little bit. A little bit of tilt going on, but mainly just a little bit of breathing. Like I said, the same thing going on there. She's going to be something we're going to need to watch because with these earthquakes that we're having up there, there hasn't been a day yet that I've seen that many earthquakes. Oh my goodness. Just today alone, there have been 1,190 earthquakes in Hawaii. Just today. That is, remember when they said that they had broke a record? They had never seen 500 and I've mentioned it on my channel here, never seen 500 earthquakes in one day. Well, folks, we are at 1,190 earthquakes in one day. This went up. This has doubled in the last week. The amount of earthquake activity has doubled in the last week. Wow. This is building. Something bad is coming. Guys, this ground is rocking and rolling. Now you got Mauna Loa coming into play. Better pay attention if y'all guys are close to this in any way, shape, or form out there helping people or whatever you're doing. You better be paying close attention because Mauna Loa is waking up and you've got 1,100 earthquakes in one day. Crazy. Now I'm zooming in here, so it's reducing the earthquakes down because I'm zooming in. It only shows the earthquakes in the area that's on the screen. What I wanted to look at is I want to actually come over here and see if we're still getting these real deep earthquakes right here. 11 kilometers, 30 kilometers. Not a lot of them though, only 7 in this area. That's good, actually. Alright, now I've got a bunch of other things I want to show you here real quick. As best I can. I'm going to bring you over here. See this photo? This is a EVG. Puna Geothermal Venture. The plant. Okay, this is a recent photo in the last few days. Most of the plant, to the tune of about 3/4 of it, is still above ground, above lava, surprisingly. Let me show you. This is what the plant site basically looks like. You would be surprised to see that there's such large mountains here. And this cam right here, this is the live cam. This is live as of just a few minutes ago. I can refresh it and you can get a more live photo. You can see the rift through here with all the vents opened up. You can see Fissure 8. There's a live photo of a few seconds ago. Fissure 8 still getting off and still got a little river of lava. Fissure 8 is putting out 26,000 gallons of lava per second. That is 1,560,000 gallons of lava per minute. That is 93 million gallons per hour. That is 2,246,400,000 gallons per day. 2.2 billion gallons of new earth per day. Fissure 8. That is insane. Absolutely insane. So this is a look from the live cam. You can see the plant back here behind the trees. If we come to the photos, recent photos, you can see, let me get my little drawing tool here so I can draw on the page. You can see that a couple of the wells down here on this bottom right hand side have been covered up. There was a retention pond down here.
Nobody's on.
The very lower right hand side of the pond.
Nobody's on. I'm just gonna read it.
It was covered up, and there's 2 well heads in here, maybe 3.
Yep. Yeah, I do care. You don't. And another thing, uh, you said you were cutting it, so that's when I said I didn't care. Yeah, I like it, but you're there, I'm here. Period. Good night. Well, I got it. Crying out loud. One of my exes want to get back with me, but wants to argue with me with all the shit that's happening. I mean, go grow up. That's the way I look at it. If you don't know how to grow up, then you don't need to be around me.
But they're covered up. This area here is new in the last week. It come down from this vent here. Okay, and this is fissure 22. I believe 22 is right here. And 22 has got a lava stream, but it's going this way, going downhill. Okay. The topography of what currently is downhill will continue changing until the eruption stops. Because right now this is downhill. This may not be downhill in a few days, depending on how much lava it spews out. Unless this thing stops, I don't see this plant making it. As long as there continues to be overflows and more lava coming out from some of these vents, this plant sooner or later will be the low spot. Right now it's still sitting in the high, kind of the high area. It can't continue that. Here's another shot. Here's fissure 22, like I was saying, right there. And there's the lava flow, as I was saying. That's heading to the heading downhill, heading to the northeast, down rift, towards the ocean, you might say. Here is a super high definition photo of the plant area. I can click on one section of it, and it will bring up that section and let us see it. So you can see how the lava is like 30 foot tall that's coming in, that came in down here. And I can see that the retention pond that was here is now covered up. It's no longer there. It wasn't quite this far. It come another 20, 30 foot in the last week, this area here somehow. You can see all the fissures coming along down through here. We can look at more of a close-up of fissure 8, as you can see there. And so the plant is kind of still there. Now, I don't know but if I was the owner of this plant, and all these fissures opened up right beside my fracking operation, I would think that somebody might point a finger of suspicion, because there's a lot of land out here. These fissures didn't all have to open up right beside the plant, but they did. Now, why did they, is the question. And I think the answer is this guy. They won't call it fracking because they're not using water to frack. They're using Pantene. They're using a gas, a liquid gas, but it's a gas that they use to go underground and basically frack with gas, which is not as bad as water, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Now, let's talk about the caldera. The caldera. Remember this little guy, the Howley Momo? Volcano crater. Remember that? Remember it was small and we could see the lava down in it. And now this is all gone now. Okay. This entire hole here has now opened up. This is now a crater once again. This is all opened up and caved in. Everything you're seeing in this circle is caved in. This parking lot right here is completely in the caldera. It has caved in. Now, back over here, if we come out here, you see this is 2 miles across from here to here. 2 miles. Half of it is already caving in, going down the throat of the volcano. This is halfway. I'll show you a live picture of it here in a second, or some photos. This is now growing, and it's out. Oh, let me show you. It's now out back here. That's how big your crater is now, and growing. And it's kind of like, oops, that ain't good. Kind of like my mouse in my pointer is not doing what it's supposed to do. It's back around here like that. Really more like that. But it's expanded all out into this area back here. So all of this is collapsing. If you remember that I suspected that this would happen about a month ago, talking about this in some of my previous videos. Yeah. All right. Let's continue on. Let's look. This is the photo. This is the live cam photo of just what I was just showing you. This is a photo from just a little while ago. I'll click it here in a second and give us a updated one. But you can see. Let me get my pencil again. Over here was that little original crater, and now it's caved in to here. But now, as you can see, the rest of it is caving in. And as you can see, there are cracks forming all back in here. You see? Let's zoom in. If you're full screen, if not, go full screen, and you can see these cracks. They're right in there. Let me grab that again. There you go. That's your cracks in there. See them basically about the lines. And you see all this steam coming up out here.
Hi, I'm Kong, and I have helped many illustrators and animators make a living on YouTube. This is...
See the steam out there? Coming up out those cracks. That means all this is going down. The steam all the way back to there. Let's see here. There is steam. Definitely see it there. Steam coming about the cracks. Just like down here in the corner. And it looks like a little bit even out here. I almost thought I could see some right here. But definitely, then we're talking 2/3 of the giant caldera that was made back in the 1800s is now caving in. And for every action, there is going to be a reaction. Because this is happening, something else is going to happen. You understand?
Yep. I understand.
So, there you have it. This is Pooh. She's, remember Pooh? This is another Caldera Array event. Down Rift, about halfway between, well, I can show you real quick, I guess. I can find my map. USGS. Oh, there it is. Okay. Right here. That one that's letting off smoke right there. This is Pooh. And it's active. Okay. Even at this day when this photo was taken, there was steam coming out around here. It's active. It keeps having steam explosions and throwing dirt on the lens of the camera, as you can see. Or either right in front of the lens of the camera, they have something up protecting the equipment, maybe a clear screen or something, but this is all the time changing. More dirt's being thrown up there every day, and they come and clean it off, and then it gets more thrown up there. But they never talk about it. I don't know why. Here's our hurricane that's weakening, but still a hurricane heading towards Hawaii. Be interesting to see what would happen if you get a torrential flood on top of 26,000 gallons of red hot 2,000 degree lava per second. It would create quite the situation. This is the current weather, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is for a point you're going to appreciate here in a moment. That's not the Big Island. Not the Big Island either. Here we go. This volcano, it actually creates some of its own weather. They're having, thunderstorms from steam that is being emitted from the lava and from the ocean entry and from the caldera, and I suspect from Mauna Loa that we're going to start seeing. If you look here, you can see what looks like steam rising from the caldera. There's the caldera. You see all the steam in the air, and then you see what the signatures of moisture in the air right above Mauna Loa. She's hot and releasing steam right over Mauna Loa. There's a good chance Mauna Loa is going to go boom.
We know that.
For every action, there's a reaction. Now, also, I'm going to show you
Can't go boom.
other interesting images. At least I think they're interesting from a study standpoint. That is this image right here. Well, not this image particularly. Actually, let me go down here to this one. The instruments that we have that we can monitor the weather with, we have different wavelengths at which they're able to monitor the various things that are going on in the air and sky that you can't see with your eyes. That's why they have all these different wavelength monitoring maps. If you notice, we're looking at the Big Island of Hawaii here. You can see not only Mauna Loa, but Mauna Kea. Mauna Kea is hot as well. Mauna Kea and her rift zone that runs off to the northwest is hot. And you see see the little circle right there at my mouse pointer? That's Mauna Loa. You see the little circle that maintains, it won't go away. That's Mauna Kea. You see the rift running down its back right here? That black line? That's the rift zone for Mauna Kea. And that's the other rift going up to the old, supposed to be dormant volcano. They're not dormant. They're not dormant at all. Even back over here, if you look, see that little dark circle that keeps showing up? See it right there? On the old island where the old volcano's at. It's hot too. Yep. The Hawaiian Islands are becoming very active for some reason. I don't know what it is, but something is bringing them to life. Along with a bunch of other volcanoes, we have a new volcano going off about every few days around the world. A new one wakes up. Now you can see down here, you can see the Kilauea. See the area where I'm pointing to now? See the little circle? That's Kilauea. You're right there. And you see how it's kind of black down the rift zone right there. See that? And you see how it's black coming out this way too a little bit. That's the southwest rift zone and the east with rift zone of Kilauea. And they are all visible from satellite. And now you know why I'm showing you this and why it would be interesting. Because you can see 1, 2, 3 volcanoes that are so hot that they affect the atmosphere above them. Plus a bonus 1.5 to 2 of them over here that are still hot enough that they are affecting the atmosphere above the island that is visible from satellite. Here's another view on a different wavelength that we can't see as well with that one. Let's see if this one's any better. Well, you can see
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not heard, we've got 3 volcanoes are about to erupt in Hawaii. That's not including Alaska, Montana, Mount St. Helens, and this one on the East Coast that's under the water close to New York is about to wake up. I tried to warn y'all. All I can do now is hope you heed my warning.
Key. See the hole right here, Mauna Kea? That black hole that shows up, boom. Boom. And you can also see the other volcanoes here, Kilauea, rift zone, and everything show up. And look over here. I believe this is where Honolulu's at. The old volcano over here that hasn't erupted in a long time is showing heat signatures. Yeah, that's right. You won't hear this kind of information anywhere, will you? Only on the Logic Before Authority channel will someone take the time to go into depth to show you what's going on. That's why if you're new to this feed, you want to subscribe. Here we are on another wavelength, looking at it, and you can see the signatures again going up in this wavelength as well. Let me refresh that one. Yeah, you can see Mauna Kea. Now it shows you the caldera. Shows you the circle. Yeah, you can see Mauna Loa right in there. dim. On almost every wavelength we can see, and so you can even see Fissure 8 down here. Either heat signature or Fissure 8. Way down there at the corner of the island almost. Update again. Down here, we're looking at, they call this one the rainbow. You can see Mana Key showing up right there. See it? There's some storms kind of moving over the island right now. A little bit anyways, I think. And thicker clouds at least, so strokes it. Unless being able to see it as good. Look at this one real quick. These are all different frequency levels, different wavelengths. You can see the Mauna Loa right there. That little black area that shows up and persists. And then Mauna Kea right here. They're harder to see Kilauea. I can tell you that Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa are hotter and more active from a temperature standpoint than even Kilauea or Fissure 8. They're releasing more heat into the atmosphere than either one of them. That's a trip, isn't it? We can see how our thunderstorms worked out today. Tremendous amount of thunderstorms all over the country today. I'm going to back out real quick. I'm going to look at the lightning. It should be getting off right now, which it is. Yep, still. Look at that. Amazing. The amount of lightning going on. Incredible. Guys, that's close to about what I've got to show you for this is a report that was put out by the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute. They're one of the most well-known probably on the planet. And this is a report that they put out on the Helena Slump and on Kilauea. And where they think and what they think will happen. You're looking at a photo here, or a drawing, an illustration of the East Rift Zone with the Helena Fault Zone and Helena Slump area. And they basically think that an area just off the edge of the coast will possibly give way and slump. It's 54 pages long. I'll put the link in the video description when the video's over here. You can go look at this if you want to. They've got a lot of illustrations and they go into great depth. In showing how this thing is functioning, they went and did a study of it from above it. A poet didn't know it. Here's the embankment that they're talking about. This embankment, you can see the angle at which this, you couldn't even walk down that slope. It is such a slope. And they're thinking that this area may give and slide down to this outer bench that is here, that from a previous landslide. Here are the different layers. You can see how they've identified different layers of soil. And this top area here is what they think might slip off.
Okay.
But I'll I'll make sure to put this link. Y'all guys want to read in depth what the experts say. And they basically say the same thing I'm saying. Except I'm not an expert, so I don't make any money. I don't get paid. Except for when y'all guys take care of me. I do like that. It sure makes my life a little bit easier. You guys really took care of me this month, that's for sure. Saved my rear end big time. Yeah. So anyways, guys, I'm not going to take up any more of your time this evening. I really appreciate all of you. And I'm glad that y'all guys stopped in to see what was going on. Probably the biggest news is that Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea are coming alive. There's earthquakes. An earthquake is a shift in the earth. You slip in the ground.
And we had 1,190 earthquakes today in Hawaii. That is a record from 500 earthquakes a day. So something is about to happen, folks. Something's about to happen. And we're closing in on July 8th. Makes you want to say, I'm smiling because Wormwood is right here under us. You can't see it, but we can. And we can feel it. I'm sure you can feel it in the weather with all this hot weather. Because it is burning up Earth. We got more news. Let's see here. Let's see what's up next. Yoda wins. That's the last creating my car. WWE superstar that I created. The last one, folks. Yoda with the Y. No, we didn't even have a Z this time. But Yoda was the last one I created, and we keep on going with our creations all the way to Undertaker. Yep. Let's see here. Let's go. Check that out. Takes the one. Takes forever for it to download, but that's computers, right? They think they're God and it's not. Well, if you stay out of the rain and the snow and the chemtrails, you won't have cancer. Period. Oh boy. All right, we're on the final four. It's nice to get back to doing WWE tournaments and showing you the real news because nobody else does it like I do. Nobody. I know that for a fact. Let's see here. Because we care. Let's see here. It's the next one. Wrestle Circus. I kind of like this one because it's like a gym floor, like a high school gym floor, like you. I don't know. It's pretty old, unique kind of creation I've never done before. Oh yeah, by the way, we've got a hurricane coming toward Houston. Forgot all about that. We got so much going on. Oh my gosh, we got volcanoes, earthquakes, hurricanes. Oh my. Wait a minute. Volcanoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, heat waves, lightning storms. Oh my. All we need now is the Wizard of Oz. Okay. Let's see here. What is next? We got some more news. Yes, we do. Let's check it out. Check it out. White boys have to shout. Baby got back. Let's see what is next. Thanks for watching, whoever you are. Watch WWE. Oh yeah, if you have not heard, WWE is preparing to say goodbye to Daniel Bryan, and Rey Mysterio is not signed with the WWE anytime soon. He's coming, but not anytime soon. He's going to be at All In, so you cannot. Don't put Rey Mysterio and Daniel Bryan in the mix. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. We're going to talk a little bit of the hurricane. Here we go, folks. Let's see here. Which one's the best? I want to say the best is well, the best is going to have to be these two. All right. Check out this one. Beware and be alert. And prepare, just in case you have a hurricane on your tail. Because if you don't, have some water and some food and everything ready just in case. You know, it's nice to be prepared before last minute, because look what happened last year. Y'all wasn't even ready. I warned you, and you didn't listen.
This is a real quick update for everybody, all my friends on the islands. This came in around 2:30, just a little over a half an hour ago. That tropical depression is now Tropical Storm Burl. It has intensified sooner than expected. Now, the satellite imagery indicates that the tropical depression has strengthened and is now Tropical Storm Burrell. Maximum sustained winds are estimated to be 40 miles per hour with higher gusts. An updated intensity forecast will be provided at 5 p.m. this afternoon. Now, it's located at 10.3 north, 42.3 west, about 1,330 miles east-southeast of the Lesser Antilles. The maximum sustained winds are 40 miles per hour. It is moving west at 16 miles per hour, and the minimum central pressure has dropped. It has been for several days now at 1,009 millibars. Well, now it's dropped 2 millibars. It's down to 1,007 millibars, which if you have a regular barometer like hangs in your house, it's 29.74 inches. Don't worry, folks. I've got my eyes on this. Any changes that come about, I'll let you know. I just wanted to put this out there to you now. Everybody on the islands, I'm really not expecting this to turn into a hurricane, but I really wasn't expecting this to turn into a tropical storm for at least 24 hours or maybe a little more. So this thing seems to be blowing up right now. I still think, as of now, it's going to disintegrate once it hits the dry air and those winds. But it still has a way to go. So I just want you to be aware of this, not to worry you, not to frighten you, to make you aware. It is a tropical storm now, and it has a name. It's Beryl. So with all that said and done, later on after 5, it may be 6 or 7 before I get it up, because there's a lot of things I want to go over, but I will have a complete update for you coming up this evening. With all that said and done, if you guys write me any notes and you are down on any of the islands whatsoever, and you are seeing or feeling anything, it's still 1,000 miles away from you. But if you see any signs that you can really tell it's coming, please let me know what island you're on, what your location is, and what's going on in that area. I love each and every one of you. May everyone everywhere stay safe, and everyone everywhere, please watch the skies. If you see a significant change coming about, please make sure you have a safe place to go to. With all that said and done, much peace, love, and kindness to all.
She's awesome. She's actually one of my newest weather ladies. Let's see here. Let's go to the next one. What is the next one? Oh, sandstorm sighted in Arizona. Dust storm, whatever you want to call it. Mr. Sandman, yes. Bring me a dream. I told you it was coming. Nobody wanted to listen. Maybe they all went to sleep and thought about, hey, yeah, maybe it's the other way around. Let's see here. What is next? Oh, yeah, by the way, I did find the backhoes digging around the volcanoes. May even show it to you. It was Yellowstone. They've been doing it for a couple of years now, and it's gotten worse. When you dig around a volcano, like I said, it's like a Coca-Cola that spews. It's gonna spew, folks. Function that, folks. Let's see here. Let's see what's up. I only see one person. I only got 4 likes. Something's going on. Let's check it out. 4 likes. Okay, cool. Everybody's still there. That's good. Who just gave me another like? That's nice of you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. But yeah, well, what we got here is volcanoes waking up. Like I said, was going to happen between June 19th and August 28th. As we are in the middle of that, I mean, we're in July now. We're closing in on the nitty gritty. I'm telling you, it's getting close. But yeah. Let's go to the next deal. And you heard about the 3 volcanoes about to erupt in Hawaii. If you're in Hawaii and you're not understanding any of this, I would advise you to get off the island. You've got 1,190 earthquakes erupting today. That's a record. They had 500. That was the record. Now it just shattered the record. So I thought I would tell you that. Get ready. They're about to put the rod of God in the volcano, and then it's going to blow it up, and it will take out the West Coast. Just like I said, it's going to happen. But hey, I only know what's happening because I got people from Berkeley that went to school. It's pretty smart, from scientists and everything. I just give out the news that y'all need to know. Not kidding, man. 290 million people could die on the West Coast. That's just the West Coast, folks. That's a lot. I'm trying to get to the next deal. Putin and Trump is about to meet. Putin versus the devil is going to meet Saturday. Let's see here. I'm liking this. I really am. I'm kind of glad that this is going to happen, because Putin's going to get in his face and say, "What the fuck are you doing, you dumbass? You're doing it wrong." And I can't wait for him to do it. I can't wait to hear he's going to finally do it. So, all right. Let's see if this is better than nothing. Let's check this out.
The second attack.
All right, here we go. Some news on 9/11. We're going to analyze the historian Webster Tarpley analyzes Bush's behavior on 9/11, which we told you about. And I'm going to be honest with you. The reason I'm going back to the 9/11 story is because we're going to go back to is this 9/11 plot, and what's happening in Hawaii is a 9/11 plot. Okay, folks, except it's just May 8th plot. or whatever you want to call it, because this is May all the way to July, and it's still spewing and lava coming out, and that's crazy. And that's scary, folks, because Hawaii is covered with nothing but volcano ash right now. Just wait until the other volcanoes erupt. And then the other volcanoes. If all the volcanoes erupt like we predict, you're going to freeze your ass off. You better get you some jackets. You better get ready for the hellacious cold. I'm telling you guys, you ain't going to want to go outside. You're going to hope to God that you don't lose power, because I have a feeling that's their plan, to cut the power when this happens, to kill everybody. So, let's see here.
Guess is the one that's captured on news film, because he's in the middle of a photo opportunity reading to these, or listening to these children read My Pet Goat in the elementary school class in Sarasota, Florida. My personal analysis of this is that he is frozen in fear, terror, and panic. He does not know what to do. And he sits there waiting for somebody to tell him what it is he must do. He is not an active president. He doesn't call for telephones. He doesn't issue a parade of crisp orders. He doesn't say, scramble every fighter, bring down all planes, close the borders, go to red alert. Nothing of the kind. He sits there, and we know that his press secretary, Ari Fleischer, is in the back of the room holding up a big placard saying, don't say anything. Don't comment. This is obviously not a president. This is a puppet. This is a figurehead. This is a ceremonial figure, if you like. That is how Bush tried to explain his behavior to the 9/11 Commission when he was interviewed. Of course, he had to be interviewed together with Cheney. The reports are that he was sitting on Cheney's lap while he gave this interview. And there are other reports that Cheney was sitting on his wife's lap because that's how he has to appear. Cheney can't appear without his wife, and Bush can't appear without Cheney. So Bush said, I sat there and tried to project calm and strength. Now, this is an absurdity that is verging on pandemonium of insanity. He simply doesn't know what to do. He's got to be told what to do. There's the other dimension, is that as you read, for example, in my book, I devote a whole chapter to Bush's behavior and movements on this day, because I consider it to be of critical importance. A Secret Service agent, hearing the news of either the first or the second plane hitting the buildings in Manhattan, said, we're out of here. That was standard operating procedure. The standard operating procedure is if a major terror event is in progress, the president has to be taken to a secure location. We know, for example, Cheney, obviously considered much more important, was literally picked up and carried from his office in the White House down into the bunker in the sub basement where he would probably...
Sorry, guys, I'm having... I would understand if you had cancer, but you don't. I'm not here to argue. I'm live. I decided not to go to sleep. Because we have 2 volcanoes about to erupt in Hawaii. That's not including the one that's already erupted. Wake up. Period. Dumbass. Alright. I hate to say that. I really do. But you got people out there don't know what the hell is going on. You're too damn worried about being a slave to the fucking government. That's killing you.
Would be safe from a direct airplane impact, maybe. But in the case of Bush, despite the fact that one Secret Service agent says we're out of here, they don't move him. He stays there. Somehow that impulse is overridden. The standard operating procedure is abandoned, and Bush is essentially left there as a sitting duck. I don't believe reports of conspiracy theorists who say, well, they let him stay there because they were all in on it. They all knew everything that was happening. The invisible government, the coup faction or putsch faction behind 9/11 is in the federal government, but they don't issue engraved invitations to their terrorist actions. They confront somebody like Bush with a fait accompli, and we'll get into that perhaps in a second, but they left him there as a very inviting target. There's good research by Daniel Hopsiker that there had been something resembling an assassination attempt against Bush in the morning. A camera crew showed up at Bush's hotel in Longboat Key in Florida on the morning of 9/11 at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and they said, we're here to do an interview. The Secret Service allegedly said, we don't know anything about that interview, go away. The guess might be that it might be a Maqsood operation. In other words, Maqsood was a leader of the Northern Alliance in Afghanistan. He had been assassinated several days before by a camera crew of suicide bombers who came in, and instead of having a camera, as we do here, I hope, they had an exploding bomb that killed all of them, but killed Maqsood as well. I would ascribe that to the CIA rather than to anybody else, because they didn't want a nationalist like Maqsood running the Northern Alliance. He would have been too difficult to handle. He was somebody who had stood up to the Soviets. He wouldn't hesitate to stand up to the punks from the CIA and the U.S. forces. So assassination attempt in the morning, hung out to dry, essentially left there, security stripped in the morning. Then Air Force One takes off. No fighter escorts are there. And there's also a tremendous reluctance on the part of the pilot of Air Force One to tell the Air Force where he's going. The reports are that a couple of fighter jets finally appear, but they're simply told...
He went to Colorado. I'm just saying. That's where they put him. Underground in Colorado.
Follow Air Force One. We're not telling you where we're going. Doesn't really indicate too much trust in the military. Indicates rather that the people in Air Force One knew that they were in the midst of a military coup and that Bush might become expendable at any point in the day. And then above all, the centerpiece of 9/11, I think the single most important piece of evidence in the entire day, the incoming threat given to the Secret Service, Angel is next, meaning we will destroy Air Force One. And it doesn't just come with Angel is next. It then comes with a train of cosmic level code words, top secret code words, indicating that behind that threat is a network that has access to the most important secrets of a whole range of executive departments, presumably CIA, National Security Agency, Pentagon, FBI, Justice, Treasury even, the whole array. And that's a threat. The idea is, what they're saying to Bush is, you've got to go on television and start saying, Bin Laden, Bin Laden, Bin Laden, Al-Qaeda, 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 and you will remain in office. If you don't, you may be liquidated at any time. You may not see the end of this day. I think to some degree, what's most interesting about 9/11 are the things that almost happened but didn't. What happened, of course, was a terrific tragedy, but the things that might have happened were even worse. The other thing the invisible government wanted Bush to do, this coup faction, if you will, was to get on the phone with Putin and tell him, we are seizing Afghanistan now, and we're going to set up bases in your soft underbelly in the former Soviet republics of Central Asia, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzia for starters, after that perhaps Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, and the rest. That is a very dangerous move. That might have been responded to by Putin with his own threats. He might have said no. So the invisible government had to have the possibility of nuclear escalation, and they did. They had it in two ways that we know of. One is that in the Angel is Next phone call, they had code words that seemed to indicate that they had access to the nuclear launch codes, that they were able to somehow access the so-called football, the collection, the briefcases that are filled with these codes that accompany the president, but are also kept in other places for use in case of all-out nuclear war. So the perpetrators of 9/11, the coup faction inside the U.S. government, have these codes. They can launch nuclear war that way. There's another way they could have launched it, through an exercise called Global Guardian, because it just so happened that on the morning of 9/11, there was also an exercise simulating all-out thermonuclear war. And part of that exercise appears to have been an attempt, as a part of the drill, as a part of the simulation, for a rogue faction to gain access to command and control systems that would give them the ability to launch missiles. So that might be the concrete, specific backdoor that the invisible government might have used in order to escalate in the nuclear realm if that had become necessary. Essentially, the ultimatum to Bush is either you launch the war of civilizations against the Arabs and the Islamic world in Afghanistan, later in Iraq, you launch it in conventional form, or we will launch it ourselves in nuclear form. In other words, we can incinerate Cairo, Damascus, Tehran, you name it, Kabul, all of those places can be hit by missiles within minutes. We'll do that and leave you to deal with the consequences. Now, of course, one of the overtones of this, and I'm relying here on, just in terms of the sources, the Réseau Voltaire, presumably having the benefit of the French intelligence services. Secondly, DEBCA, a website.
And the reason they did this is to get the oil in the Middle East. I keep on Middle East. For them to be rich and us to be poor. Okay? Europe, folks, had something to do with this. You see why I'm mad? You should be too. Because the British stole everything.
Is close, I believe, to the views of the Israeli Mossad. And then another one called Namakon, which is a group of KGB Soviet intelligence veterans. They seem to converge on this hypothesis that there was a nuclear option built into it. And essentially it's an ultimatum telling Bush that the only way you can remain in office is if you begin to preach the war of civilizations and act in the way that we are demanding. There's also reports through the Réseau Voltaire in particular that Tony Blair was on the phone actively with Bush, telling him, you've got to go on television and say Al-Qaeda, Bin Laden. And of course, for that.
And who is Tony Blair? None other, and I ain't even seen this video before. I just know it's good. None other than the British, the UK, Europe. And who tells Tony Blair what to do? George Soros. Can I get applause? Come on, golf clap.
There was absolutely no proof. There was no scrap of proof in the world that Bin Laden, Al-Qaeda had anything to do with this. And indeed, the FBI has admitted that in going into Afghanistan, they never found anything, not one line, not one scrap, that would have anything to do with the events of 9/11. So I think the scratching the surface on 9/11, what is revealed is a horror that is much greater than even the one that we saw.
So there you have it, folks. What you think about that one? Interesting, ain't it? You know the funny thing is, people didn't realize it was Europe that was telling our United States what to do. I did. When I found out George Soros was living there, I was like, oh shit, that makes sense. It's Hitler's bitch. But hey, who knows, right? Let's go to the next one. Illuminati hates Mel Gibson. I wonder why. Maybe because he makes fun of the Illuminati and he did the Jesus Christ movie. Oh, I can't wait to show you that one. We're not going to go through the whole thing tonight. You'll get to hear it in the next video.
In the midst of Studio 5 at Cinecittà, a long-haired figure appears to be in prayer. He is the actor Jim Caviezel, awaiting his cue to enter Gethsemane. In moments as Jesus, he will be arrested for the opening shot of The Passion. On the other side of the studio, surrounded by Herod's guard, Mel Gibson is engaged in his own athletic directing style. He tries to help the actors see the bold, at times stark vision that is, for the moment, confined to his head. This kinetic approach surpasses the performance of the day players. What becomes quickly apparent is the passion of the actor-director himself. Gibson is director, co-author, and sole financier of the entire project. The question is, why? Why would one of Hollywood's biggest stars take on a film he himself has described as a career killer? What is his vision? And how is this Jesus picture different from the others? I recently sat down with Gibson to get some answers. Mel, there are roughly 100 Jesus movies. Why do we need another one?
100? I didn't know there was that many. Wow. They just dug up another one from 1916.
101.
Yeah, they just found it, and it was like, it's one of the first ones ever on film. It's incredibly naive, but it's really kind of interesting to watch it. They go through the entire life in like, it's less than an hour. It's like, wow. It's like,
Went by fast.
I don't think it's ever been told as it should be. I don't think it's ever been adhered to in the way.
In what way?
It suffers either, in most cases that I've seen, and I haven't seen all 100, so I could be wrong here, but I've seen like probably the big dozen. And accuracy, historical accuracy as far as the Gospels go, accuracy is as far as the extent of not only the political turmoil and everything that was going on at the time, but just the extent of the sacrifice and the torture involved, which is like, it's no mistake about it. This is graphic,
Right.
And I would never even recommend that anyone under the age of 12 go and see it because it's hard. But you know, anybody that does go and see it and sits through it, I think, and my aim is to profoundly change people with it.
Hollywood rolls out the red carpet, and to be honest, they produce great little fluff pieces. This is not receiving that sort of acclaim. They're saying the strangest Hollywood project to come along in years. Why
Really?
the icy reception? Why that weird suspicion?
Well, it's not done in a language that they understand, and it's dealing with material that could be dangerous. It's dangerous material. You're talking about the single event that probably influenced civilization as we know it now. Even in the negative aspects, in some way, you could say that it goes back to that. I mean, it's created our laws and behavior and the knowledge of good and evil and all that kind of stuff. It's influenced art and literature and it's affected every possible aspect of anyone's life, whether they know it or not. It has, and so that this is big stuff you're dealing with, and it's going to be graphic and it's going to be accurate as I can make it. It has areas of poetic license that I've added to it that I see as not unreasonable.
Right.
And
Now, some would say, why do you have to be so graphic? That removes the art. That kills the imagination that we can all apply to this.
No.
By being so on the nose.
No, it's a puzzle that I have. I think what I have to do is be truthful to take you through suffering with it. The audience has to suffer to understand it.
When you approach this sort of material, this subject, you draw enemies.
Sure.
What did you mean by that?
Well, I think there is, in the world, there is good and bad. And anybody who wants to tell a story of this magnitude about the nature of good and evil is going to draw people who are influenced by something dark.
and it's going to come and afflict you in some way. And I'm not just talking about only people. I'm talking about a whole other realm, because I believe in these realms. I believe there's realms outside our own. If I didn't, then I would wonder about the point of this here now, breathing. If there isn't something else outside this realm, then I'm a little late on world conquest, is all I'm trying to say, and total subservience of every living creature to my will. So, I mean, that's a really harsh way of putting it.
I got it. But there's something bigger than that.
If there's not something bigger than this, why am I trying?
Tell me about the authenticity of this film.
Well, I'm trying to make it as authentic as I possibly can, right down to the clothing, right down to the eating customs of the Jews of the old law, and to make it truly about people. A man born into the house of David in Jerusalem. I mean, the Pharisees are all there, and
God, when I saw Jim the other day, this is the most Jewish-looking Christ I've seen on film.
Well, he should be.
Normally he looks so Aryan. I mean, gosh, sure.
Yeah, they usually got the blue-eyed guy, and Jim has blue eyes.
Yes, he does.
But I'm going to change that. Digitally, I'll make his eye color different. It'll be more like that Coptic look, And of course, we fiddled with his facial features a bit, made him look like he comes from a more rugged time, and make him look like he comes from the Middle East. He looks Semitic in the way he looks Semitic. The woman playing his mother, she's Romanian, she's Jewish, and she's just beautiful. These great big soulful brown eyes, and she's giving it everything. She's amazing, I think from a totally sort of earthbound point of view, it's just a bad business decision. It's like, well, there's a lot of dough to throw at that. It's not even in the language we understand, and it's going to tell a lot of people what's the deal. But it's like childbirth. I mean, it's either got to whelp itself out, or I just got to do it. It's one of those things, and chips fall where they may,
Mel Gibson has been accused of hating Jews and wanting to kill his ex-wife. The claims come from screenwriter Joe Esterhaus, who has been working on The Maccabees with Gibson and Warner Brothers. Earlier this week, the studio announced they had cancelled the project. In a letter to Mel, Joe claims he can only conclude that Mel hates Jews based on the behaviour and language he says he witnessed while working with the actor, who was due to direct the film, which would have told the story of the revolt of the Judean state. He also wrote he witnessed Mel talking about how he wanted to have his ex-wife Oksana killed. Mel surprised Hollywood when he announced his involvement in the project last year. In 2006, he was arrested for drink driving and made various anti-Semitic statements to the arresting officer, including telling him that Jews were responsible for all the wars in the world. In 2004, his movie The Passion of the Christ was criticised for the way Jews were portrayed.
Tell me that the message or something, right? Because you're doing something, trying to breastfeed with fucking foreign bodies in you. Was that it?
It has nothing to do with it.
Oh, it had nothing to do with what? The fact that you had foreign bodies in there?
Correct.
Correct, okay, good. So you're not lying to me about fake tits.
I've never have.
Yes, you just did. You said they weren't. You fucking lied to me before.
What? I didn't. I never said anything of a kind. You never asked me, I never told you. Or maybe you asked me, but I never lied about this.
I don't lie, who cares? So, they look ridiculous. Get rid of them, why don't you? Anyway,
That's none of your fucking business what
It is. They look stupid. I'm just telling you, it's just an appraisal. Keep them if you want. Look stupid. See if I give a fuck. But they're too big and they look stupid. They look like some Vegas bitch. They look like a Vegas whore. And you go around sashaying around in your tight clothes and stuff. I won't stand for that anymore.
I don't walk around. I don't walk
to be that.
I don't walk around in tight clothes. I stay at home for most of the time.
Public, and it's a fucking embarrassment to me. You look like a fucking bitch on heat. And if you get raped by a pack of niggers, it'll be your fault. All right? Because you provoked it. You are provocatively dressed all the time with your fake boobs. You feel you have to show off in tight outfits and tight pants so that you see your pussy from behind. And that green thing today was enough. That's provocative. Okay? I'm telling you. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't like it. I don't
shackled.
Well, you know what? It's
Be a woman that fucking supports me instead of a woman that sucks off me. And just fucking sucks me dry. And wants. Yield to this relationship if you're a good woman and you love me. I don't believe you anymore.
what did you just say?
You're bullshit. Has any relationship ever worked with you? No!
Listen to me. You don't love me because somebody who loves does not behave this way. I do not.
I
You
know I'm
understand?
behaving like this because I know
One
absolutely
second.
that you do not.
By the way, Mel Gibson, after he did that movie, somebody threatened him and everything, and he changed. He went from a different Mel Gibson. And the scary part is we think the Illuminati got to him. That's why he started acting like that. All I can say is, sorry about the N-word, but y'all need to know what's going on with these Hollywood stars. It's a bad situation. Some Hollywood stars are waking up, and some of them are looking like a deadbeat zombie. But I hope y'all enjoyed the tournaments. I'm going to try to come back tomorrow if I feel like it. I almost didn't come on tonight. If you noticed, I came on late, and y'all don't show up anyways until after the show. I noticed I get more views after the live. It's weird. And thanks for all the likes on the last video. Wow. I was not expecting that many. Thank you. Love you all. Thank you for enjoying the tournaments and the likes. Thank you for the 5 likes. I'm sure it'll go up. I'm making this channel only for live. I did a couple short videos on there, but that was an accident. I'm trying to get them all on the other channel, the small ones. But I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, everyone. One that's watching right now, thank you, man. Or woman. I don't know who it is, but y'all have a nice day and y'all be safe.